The fight for Chasov Yar has become another brutal chapter in the Russia-Ukraine war. Russian forces, after weeks of relentless assault, have seized control of the eastern quarter of the city. This victory, however, has come at a heavy price. Russian casualties are reportedly high, a testament to the ferocity of the Ukrainian defense. Despite their staunch resistance, Ukrainian troops made the difficult decision to withdraw from their positions in eastern Chasov Yar. Military analysts believe this tactical retreat was necessary to avoid further losses and consolidate defenses in more advantageous positions. The move highlights the Ukrainian military's strategic thinking, prioritizing long-term goals over symbolic victories. The capture of Chasov Yar marks a symbolic victory for Russia. It demonstrates their continued offensive capabilities in the Donbas region. However, the gains have come at a significant cost, raising questions about the sustainability of such costly offensives in the long run. While Russia may claim victory in eastern Chasov Yar, it is a victory achieved at a terrible cost. Reports from the front line paint a grim picture of heavy Russian casualties. The exact numbers are difficult to verify, but all indications point to a significant loss of life. This underscores the resilience of the Ukrainian defense and their determination to contest every inch of their territory. The high casualty rate raises questions about the long-term sustainability of Russia's military strategy. The Kremlin has yet to acknowledge these losses, but the impact on morale and battlefield effectiveness is likely significant. As the war drags on, the mounting casualties could become a major political liability for Putin's regime. The human cost of the conflict is not limited to soldiers on the battlefield. Civilians trapped in Chasov Yar are bearing the brunt of the fighting. With limited access to food, water, and medical supplies, their situation is increasingly desperate. International humanitarian organizations are struggling to reach those in need, hampered by ongoing hostilities and bureaucratic hurdles. The Ukrainian military's decision to withdraw from eastern Chasov Yar highlights their strategic approach to the conflict. Rather than engaging in costly battles for every street and building, they are prioritizing the preservation of manpower and resources. This calculated retreat allows them to regroup, reinforce their defenses, and live to fight another day. The withdrawal should not be interpreted as a sign of weakness. On the contrary, it demonstrates a deep understanding of the evolving battlefield dynamics. Ukraine's military leadership has repeatedly shown its ability to adapt to changing circumstances and outmaneuver their Russian adversaries. By ceding ground in Chasov Yar, the Ukrainian military can choose the time and place for future engagements. This strategy of attrition aims to inflict maximum casualties on the invading forces while minimizing their own losses. Section 4. Life on the Edge: Civilians trapped in Chasov Yar. For the civilians remaining in Chasov Yar, life has become a daily struggle for survival. The city is caught in the crossfire, with shelling and airstrikes a constant threat. Basic necessities like food, water, and medicine are in short supply. The humanitarian situation is rapidly deteriorating. Many residents are sheltering in basements and makeshift bomb shelters, too afraid to venture outside. The constant bombardment has left them psychologically scarred, uncertain of what the future holds. The plight of these civilians underscores the devastating human toll of this conflict. International humanitarian organizations are working tirelessly to provide aid to those affected by the fighting in Chasov Yar. However, their efforts are often hampered by bureaucratic hurdles and the ongoing security risks. Section 5. A gateway city: Chasov Yar's strategic significance. Chasov Yar occupies a strategically important location in eastern Ukraine. Situated on a key highway, the city serves as a gateway to other major urban centers in the Donbas region. Control of Chasov Yar gives Russian forces a strategic advantage, opening up new avenues for their advance. The city's capture also carries symbolic weight for both sides. For Russia, it represents another step towards their goal of capturing the entire Donbas region. For Ukraine, the loss of Chasov Yar is a setback, but one they are determined to reverse. The battle for Chasov Yar is far from over. Ukrainian forces are expected to launch counteroffensives in an attempt to reclaim lost ground. The coming weeks will be crucial in determining the fate of the city and the broader course of the war in eastern Ukraine. Section 6. Echoes of Bakhmut. A war of attrition continues. The fight for Chasov Yar bears striking similarities to the earlier battle for Bakhmut, where months of grinding warfare resulted in heavy casualties for both sides. Russia's strategy in both instances appears focused on overwhelming Ukrainian defenses through sheer firepower and manpower. This approach, while yielding some territorial gains, comes at a high cost. The relentless bombardment has left cities like Chasov Yar in ruins, displacing thousands of civilians and causing widespread destruction of infrastructure. The war in Ukraine has entered a new phase, characterized by protracted battles of attrition. The outcome of these battles will likely hinge on which side can sustain the high casualties and maintain the will to fight. The human and economic costs of this conflict continue to mount, with no end in sight.